All right. So today we're going to be talking about showing up as the 8-figure CEO in your business. Now, I know not all of you have the goals, desires, dreams of having an 8-figure business, but that's okay. The reason I utilize that phrasing specifically is because when we expand our vision and when we expand our point of view to be something just grand and enormous, what we're doing is we're expanding our capacity for everything up until that point. So whether you'd like a 6-figure a year business, 7-figure a year business, 8-figure a year business, it doesn't really matter. What we're talking about here is stepping into your CEO energy, where you are the leader in your business and in your life. You see, all of us, every single one of us, myself included, are indoctrinated and trained from the beginning of time, from the beginning of our lives, usually, unless you've come from a very different kind of family and upbringing. Most of us are, not every single, forgive me, to be employees. We are taught in school even to sit in polite little rows, to raise our hands to go to the bathroom, to ask for permission, to recite facts and figures and dates back to our teacher. We are not taught to be creative geniuses, to own that creative spark, to be able to really think outside of the box. We're not taught to tune into our emotions, our energy, our intuition. We're not taught any of the tools which empower us to be the CEO, the entrepreneur, the creative genius that each and every single one of us has the capacity to be in our lives. Instead, what we're being trained to be are little employees, are factory workers, are people who sit in polite little rows, listen to directions, follow them to a T, don't ask questions, don't cause problems, etc. Now, that's all well and good back in the 1800s or whatever when we were trying to train a bunch of factory workers. But as you guys know, a lot of things in our society are becoming automated, and freedom is truly created through our ability to create, right? It's created through our ability to create. It's created through our creative genius. It's created through our leadership. It's created through our ability to think outside of the box. And so we have to actually break the chains of what we've been indoctrinated and trained to do our entire lives in order to step in to this box, this new box. Well, that sounds weird. I'm saying get out of the box, but this new identity that each and every one of us is trying to embody. And that identity is the identity of being the CEO, the 8-figure CEO, the leader, the one who is decisive, who doesn't have to ask for permission, who is creative, and is the end of the line. What I mean by the end of the line is you are the point of contact that has the ultimate choice in everything. You also have the ultimate responsibility. With great responsibility, like that whole statement. But you also have the ultimate choice. This means, though, that we have to come at things from a very radically different perspective. Because most of us are used to showing up as employees. Most of us are used to punching a clock. Most of us are used to there being rules. Most of us are used to there being right or wrong ways to do things. Instead of seeing our work as an absolute creative playground where we can do anything that we want in any fucking way that we want. Because that's the truth of being a CEO, is in owning your own business and being an entrepreneur, is you can do anything you want in any fucking way that you want, and you have that level of freedom. Now, that level of freedom can be freaking terrifying, but it's also so liberating. So liberating. Because it means, basically, you can't get it wrong. You can tweak, you can adjust based upon your data, based upon your conversions, based upon your sales, all of this stuff. But you can't get it wrong because you decided and you got to follow your intuition, your inner knowing, your decisiveness, your self-confidence, your belief, your trust, all of this genius going on inside of you. And this is why we stress so much in this program, following your unique path. following what's right for you, following your rhythms, following your patterns, following the things that feel just good to you, because that's your alignment, that's your path. That is the thing that is screaming at you, this way, this is the way. But you have to embolden yourself and have the courage to follow that CEO energy that says, I get to make the decisions. I am the leader. I am the decision maker. I do not have to ask for permission. I do not have to justify. I just have to decide. And that is radically, radically different than the energy of being an employee who has to frickin' even ask permission to go take a pee. I mean, I'm being a bit dramatic here, but you know what I'm saying. The service provider, the employee, is an entirely different energy from the CEO. So now we're even going to a different level, right? So there's the employee, there's somebody who works for somebody else. But there's also the service provider or the product creator. This is somebody who, maybe is a solopreneur and they, provide services, dollars for hours, or they create products and dollars for hours, and they just sit there and they think, well, I'm just trying to, pay my bills and fill my Etsy store or book up my massage clients or whatever it might be just to make sure I cover my bills. That's actually not the CEO energy either. That is the energy of somebody who's there to provide a product or service and isn't actually stepping back into the leadership role. Think of it this way. If I'm a CEO, I am actually probably the one who is running multiple service providers, but you know what I mean, as employees, and they are the ones who are providing the product or service or creating the product or service for the customers or clients. The CEO is the one that stands a level behind that and makes the decisions that drive what happens with those service providers or those product creators. So imagine it sort of like a triangle. You know what I mean? The CEO is at the top of the triangle. The next level is the service providers or the product creators. And beneath that is the customers, right, who are receiving those product or services. The CEO is the one who's making decisions like, what kind of marketing campaign are we doing? What's the pricing structure of this? How am I paying my service providers or product creators? What am I what are the packaging for this thing look like? What's the branding look like? What strategy are we using this week? How much do I believe in this? What are my fourth quarter goals, etc.? The service provider isn't thinking those things. They're just providing the service. Same with the product creator is not thinking about things. They're just providing the product. And so even if you consider yourself a product creator or a service provider, that is not the CEO energy either, because the CEO is the one making those decisions, showing the leadership. They're the ones that actually ultimately carry the responsibility at the end of the day, but they're also the one who is driving everything that happens in the business. The service provider or the product creator is a super valuable role as well. However, they're not usually thinking globally, strategically, thinking of the business as a whole. They're thinking of the product or service that they are there to create or provide. And so stepping back and allowing yourself to realize that you have multiple roles in your business potentially as service provider or product creator, but then also as the CEO, and that you need to embolden yourself and embody the CEO energy and not just the service provider or product creator energy. That shift is absolutely 100% necessary in order to quantum leap your business. Because as long as you stand in the employee mindset, one, or the mindset of just the service provider, coach, you know what I mean, product creator, whatever, you're going to be stuck because you're not actually going to be running a business. You're just going to be either working for your business as an employee or working in your business as a service provider or product creator. So as I said, employees trade dollars for hours. They feel as though they have to answer to somebody. They aren't free to be creative or to fully be in their own lane or to have control over their calendar or their schedule over the pricing, over any of that stuff. They have to follow the rules, and they're constantly constrained by expectations of other people's opinions. Think about something like a raise. If you are an employee, your raise is contingent upon the opinion of your higher ups, you know what I mean, of your manager or whatever. If I'm a CEO, my freaking, granted, I'm not talking about publicly traded companies. I'm talking about your company. If you're in your CEO energy, your income is basically contingent upon the decisions you make. Totally different. So the CEO, on the other hand, makes fast decisions. They're decisive. They're sure. They have self-trust. They follow that beautiful balance of intuition and data. They limit time on things which can be delegated, deleted, or deferred or put off. They don't spend time on the low-hanging fruit. They know what to cut and they know what to focus on. They know the things that nourish and nurture their business instead of always being focused on what will maintain what I'm doing or how can I make this next client happy? Yes, we need to make sure our clients are happy. But if I'm only focused on making that next client happy, I'm actually not caretaking the whole body of my business, am I? They focus on their business and not their ego. What's going to help the bottom line, not what's going to make me feel better. Should your business feel good? Fuck yes, absolutely. But are we sitting there going, well, what's going to make me feel good is, getting a whole bunch of likes on Instagram, even though that doesn't feed my business. I'm going to spend half my week doing that. I can't tell you how many entrepreneurs do that kind of crap. And that's ego. That is ego speaking and not business acumen, not coming from the CEO energy. Asking yourself, not what's most comfortable or what will make you feel the best, like those social media likes, but what will feel great. Well, what will feel great is helping more people. Do the social media likes help me help more people? No. So it's not about feeding your ego. Being willing to be unliked by your employees, by people who are not meant for your business, people who are not meant to be your customers or clients. Allowing those people to dislike you and unfollow you or be like, ugh, I don't like the way she says that. Great. You can exit the building. Allowing that to happen because that is CEO energy. Allowing people to say no to you so that you're no longer feeling as though you are making choices based upon whether other people like or approve what you're doing, because that's that employee energy where I'm looking for a raise. I'm looking for approval. I'm looking for somebody to say, I've done this well enough, because the CEO sources that shit from within themselves and not externally. And understanding your own motivation to have your own business. The CEO understands this. The service provider, the product creator doesn't necessarily understand this. The employee definitely doesn't understand this. The employee is just there for a paycheck. The service provider and the product creator is at least there for some creative spark, but not necessarily there for a business. And the CEO is there to create a legacy, perhaps, or impact, or perhaps a really big income, or to tell your kids, damn, I am proud of what I did. Keeping focused on that. So ask yourself now to step into your 8-figure CEO energy. Covered this over the last couple of weeks. Who do you have to be that thing, to have that thing, to have that CEO energy? And what is it that you need to let go of? What are you most afraid that you are not doing that you should be doing? So things like maybe showing off your day on social media, or you're showing off your business, or talking about your business wins, or getting testimonials, or talking about your client wins, or showing off your products more regularly. What are you afraid of doing because you're afraid of what other people think and might be judging you? Again, that employee energy, not CEO energy. CEO energy is you don't give a fuck because the business is more important. The impact is more important. The legacy is more important than me saying to my kids, damn, I'm proud of what I'm doing. And I am proud of who I am. And I am proud of how I'm showing up. So asking yourself, who am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for freedom? Are you doing it for your family? You doing it for legacy? Are you doing it? Why? And allowing yourself to realize that every time you shrink back from that, you are not allowing yourself to make that impact, that legacy, that difference in your family's life, in your life, in your freedom, in anything. Who are you here to serve? Wherever and whenever you're holding back or waiting on something, you are letting other people control your actions. And the CEO doesn't do that. The CEO energy doesn't do that. That's the employee energy. You have the freedom to choose at any moment. So why are you doing this? Who are you doing this for? What is it that you ultimately want to feel down the road? And what do you need to step into and what do you need to let go of to embrace the CEO energy inside of you?